The premier board game cafe in Eastern Central Africa and a first of its kind in Nairobi's social scene is taking over the gaming revolution in Nairobi.
We founded this about 4 years ago and we officially opened in about December 2017. The whole idea behind this space is it's a board game cafe. So it's not just your regular restaurant where you're going to go and have a meal and drinks and all. We have the added aspect of having over 300 different board games for you to play with friends, family, colleagues, or literally any social circle that you could think of. How this whole idea came about was, in Nairobi before we opened, there was only two things really to do when to go out. It was either to go for drinks or to go for a meal and shisha. And that's what the options were. So it became monotonous. At that time as well, most arcades were not in Nairobi in terms of there was no bowling, there was no other extra activities you could actually do. We were looking for an option for ourselves, and that's how this whole thing came about. It started with a conversation with two of the other directors, and it's just one of those where you go for a long drive and you just, bouncing ideas off each other, talking about different things, and this whole topic came about not having something to do here. I'm an economist by profession. I'm an ex-banker. Two of the others are current bankers and two are industrialists. And one of them works in commercial kitchens. So we have a mix of people, but with no real restaurant experience as well. So how we actually approached this whole concept was not to open a restaurant, but more of a passion project, to give someone a space where they could genuinely come to have fun, enjoy, do something different which wasn't available in Nairobi. We are all Kenyan. We've been born and brought up here, gone through high school, a few of us university and things like that here. And we had to make sure that Kenya was showcased in here. You can see outside we've got a lot of Maasai blankets. We've got a lot of pieces from local vendors. We try and source as much locally. So we try to make sure that everything is as Kenyan as possible within our space. It even extends to our board games. We're very happy to support any Kenyan brand that has board games. So we've got Drink and Know Kenya, we've got Kenya at 50, we've got a game which has come from Lamu, created using Kitenge patterns as a memory game. So we want to try and make sure that everyone knows that this is a Kenyan space, because at the end of the day, we're all Kenyan. And that's how a lot of the thoughts came into it. In terms of color schemes, those were decisions made more on trying to achieve an industrial feel and look. So when we started our planning, we decided that we wanted to have a theme which is going to feel industrial. And with that comes the wooden finishes, the metalwork, the black walls, and things like that. For all the chalk work that surrounds us, we wanted this to be a fun brand. And that's always been our thing, that we want to be a fun brand. We're not afraid to take risks with anything we do. Even our events that we do, we've always tried to be very progressive with them. So we've had stand-up comedy nights, we've had quiz nights, and we've even had a dirty bingo, which was just bingo but with a lot of profanity. So we've tried to do different things. We even held a gaming Olympics over here for a mini one, and we just want to be different and fun. We're not afraid of failure. All we want to do is just give people an experience which they can talk about for years to come.
Sitting at the heart of Nairobi, this gaming-inspired restaurant boasts of an incredible 360-degree view that will leave you gasping as you sip their original, one-of-a-kind cocktails.
So we did find this place. It was a brand new building. There was no other tenants on board. There was no one else. And this was actually not intended as a restaurant space. It was actually intended as a full office space. So we came in and saw something which wasn't here, and we built it into that. There was work involved to come into this place because we had to look at a lot of different options. We had to do a lot of different things. For example, the outside balcony, because it wasn't supposed to be a restaurant space, was not covered. So we actually had to put in a full roofing on that side. This kitchen that you see here was fully constructed, and so was the bar. So there's a lot of things that had to be done to make it into the space it is today.
There is a personal, young and very Nairobian touch in every corner of the restaurant.
One of the coolest things about this space is that because of the board games, any social circle can thrive in here. So whether you're coming in as friends, whether you're coming in as colleagues or a team building, or even you're coming in with family, there's something for everyone to do. So if you would come in between Monday to Wednesday, it's more friends coming in just for, an evening catch up, maybe have a coffee, a couple of drinks, things like that. Once you come into like Thursday, Friday, then it's all the young professionals who are going out for post-work drinks.
A beautiful chalkboard artwork hugs the wall with writings of popular Nairobi phrases such as, "It's a minor thing," "Kuna vodka on the walls." The cafe's entrance boasts of a beautiful wall with its name at the center and a giant chessboard whose pieces are delicate Maasai warrior sculptures and a beautiful fun wall dedicated to wine.
One of the people who was involved in this project in terms of the build and all, and they actually did the construction of most of the things you see here, including the furniture, which was custom made by them and that. His name was Maina. So we decided, like a tip of the hat to him kind of thing, and we gave him his own space on the wall there. So that's where the "It's a Minor thing" came. And again, coming back to the feel of, being a Kenyan brand. So that's why we have Hakuna Vodka, trying to have phrases which have a Kenyan meaning and kind of have a spin-off on them. A lot of friends and family did come in to help with this project. For example, Binny was a friend of one of us, and she did help us put up, all these beautiful chalk works together. Then someone came in and sketched the whole thing out for us. The story you had mentioned at the back over there, that's the wife of one of the other partners. She's a writer, she's actually a published writer, and she decided, you know what, I'm going to give you guys a nice piece for your wall. So that's how it came up. And initially a lot of friends and family did help us, and that's how the whole word got out of this place.
This space is far from ordinary.
If you go through the space and just notice the seating, so at the far end on my right hand side, we've got seating for 2 to 3 people with the individual small tables. Then you come to the KPLC tables, which is between 4 to 5 people. And then you get to the bigger tables, which is 6 people. And then for much larger groups outside. The whole idea behind this was to socialize. And that's why it's in our motto: eat, play, socialize. And we wanted, no matter what size group you are, to make sure that you can have fun. It's not just families. We've got people coming for team buildings regularly. We get, friends coming in to play games. We even get colleagues coming in for after-work drinks on Fridays. And believe you me, I've seen like the manager at the top accusing, the most junior guy on the staff that, "No, you're cheating. I should be winning this game. It's my round." And it breaks down all barriers. So at the end of the day, when you're playing a board game is you have your single instinct to win. And that's where all of this comes out.
If originality and creativity don't necessarily feed your soul, then perhaps the huge gaming station sitting right in the middle of the restaurant with over 300 board games just might.
We've got Kumiliki here, which is the Kenyan Monopoly version. Fantastic, extremely popular as well over here. In addition to that, we've got Kenya in 50 Seconds, a super game, a lot of fun. We have a lot of Kenyan people who love this game, and when they see words from their childhood that they have to describe, it's a lot of fun to see their faces actually light up when they have to describe that particular word. Vumbi, which is a charades kind of game based on Kenya. We've got Imba, in which you have to actually sing songs and earn points for that. We've got a beautiful Lamu game, which has a lot of different pieces in here. So we can see all of the nice kitenge work which has been done into these pieces. Aside from the Kenyan games, there's so many options for everyone to pick. You've got your famous ones like Catan, Monopoly, Ticket to Ride, Taboo, Pictionary. Then in addition, you've got some more obscure games which people really haven't played, but I still think are fantastic. Triaminos, Fun Employed on the other side, Last Word. The options are endless, as I say. Depending on what social group you come with, there's unlimited fun you can have here.
Baobox screams fun, versatility, and relaxation.
As much as I'd like to say that it's the board games which make us unique, for us it's a combination of everything. We didn't want to just give you board games and have substandard food, or just have extremely good food and then come to play 20 board games or something like that. So we wanted it to be an experience for everything. So when you come in, we want every element of this to be perfect for you. We want you to enjoy the decor, the food, the drinks, the board games. We even want you to enjoy the service that you receive from our staff. So we try to be perfectionists to a certain extent in everything that we do.
The beautiful aroma from the delicious food cooked in its open-plan kitchen.
We wanted to have a limited menu across the board. So do a few things, but do it right. And as Rushil mentioned to you, over time we actually learned what people like, what people don't really like and things like that, and we've modified our menu to become that. It's the first time in our menu's history in the 3.5 years that we've introduced an Indian dish actually. We're all directors are Indian, but we've never had an Indian dish, and we decided, you know what, we're going to have something unique this time that's Indian. And so we introduced the paneer butter masala and the chicken version as well. And not only that, we've actually now made a Sing pizza and a Game Changer pizza, which uses that makhani sauce in it. So we've tried to have a small fusion and things like that. And all of this stems from our involvement in this. As we said, it's a passion project. We want to do different things, try and make sure our visions are seen throughout the space. So whether it's the food, whether it's the drinks, all these different stuff. The same thing with the drinks menu. Start with a few things and just keep on learning as you go along. So we've removed a couple of items, added different items, and it's a constantly evolving menu basically. The food challenge is essentially a double patty beef burger, a big portion of fries, a full roast chicken, and a banana milkshake. And you have to finish that in 25 minutes fully. If you finish it in 25 minutes, it's free. If you don't, it's 2,000 shillings. But the combined value of all that food is almost close to 4,000. The Wall of Fame is actually people who've managed to successfully complete this within the 25 minutes. The success rate has probably been under 10%. You know, some people's eyes are bigger than their stomach, and that's what happens. But the people who finish it, big admiration to them.
If you're looking for a fun way to wind down your weekend with family or friends, this is definitely the place for you.
We don't think there's any regrets in this. In terms of Kenyans, I think we're very appreciative of everyone who's come to this space. We've not only had a good Kenyan presence, but we've also had a really good international presence. We do have a lot of tour companies bringing in people, and we have a lot of word out there based on, you know, when people do research on Google and things like that about our space. Last year actually we won the TripAdvisor Traveler's Choice Award to be some sort of pioneers per se for these kind of things, as you mentioned it. It's incredible. I mean, it adds to the whole beauty that is Nairobi.
This menu, this bar as such, has been in development for over 5 years now. We started from scratch, not knowing what we have to do. We had a food and beverage consultant that assisted us in the beginning. There are classics that you have to have in a bar, but we have put our twist on it. So we do try and play around, have fun with it, and yeah, that's more about it. Now we're going to muddle some grapes, some fresh grapes that we've received from a farm in Kiambu. Once the grapes are muddled, we're going to add some fresh lime juice, some sugar syrup, some homemade simple syrup, and then our vodka. Now we're going to add some ice and shake it up. So this is to combine all ingredients together. Now we're going to top it off with some soda water just to get some fizz in it. And we're going to garnish with the grapes that we used. That is our grape caprioska. And then now it's all about wordplay, trying to be funny but trying to get the message across, because you have to try and, on your menu, you have to try and be like succinct with what you want your reader to be viewing. So if they say masala chai gin and tonic, they don't get thrown off. They know it's a gin and tonic that's going to have like some sort of masala chai aspect to it. And then we have another cocktail called the Last Ship. And that cocktail came about when, all right, we had a couple here that were here on a date. And before that, it was called it was called pineapple vodka something, yeah. And the couple was here, so the lady had 2 of these cocktails, and as soon as she had 2 of them, her date literally left her, and she had to take an Uber home. And the whole reason now we were like, oh my God, is this cocktail that strong? Like, what's up? So that's how we got the name The Last Ship, because you have one and then you're gone. Like that's how The Last Ship came about. And then we have a frozen pina colada that tries to give, it's been cold these few days, but like the weather when it's really, really hot, you want just some really nice pineapple, Malibu, some coconut rum. Just, that's why it's called a frozen pina colada. The whole concept of food at Baobox is all about comfort food. So if you're sitting at home, if you're playing games with your family, you want to dig into a nice pizza or a lasagna or something cheesy, something really nice and fried. So food is all about comfort, just making people happy through the bellies, through the food. I'm going to start with a steak. So I'm going to put on my skillet. While I'm waiting for my skillet to get hot, I'm going to start with my vegetables. So I'll go in with some pink salt, some freshly cracked black pepper, some extra virgin olive oil, some oyster sauce, some dark soy sauce, and some light soy sauce. And then I'm going to toss these up. I'm going to put these in the oven at 200 degrees for 6 minutes. So our skillet is nice and hot. I'm going to grab a steak. I'm just going to start heating our pepper sauce. This sauce is a perfect accompaniment to steak. So I'm just heating it up. Once the steak is ready, I'm going to pour it on top of the sauce. The main thing for roast vegetables is just to get a nice, I don't want them to be overcooked. That's why I don't cook them for too long. If they're overcooked, they're just soft and mushy. I like to have them to be crunchy as well. And that's why I cook them just till they're just done. I would say our signature dish is our lamb chops. Like, our lamb chops are, you can't get them anywhere else. And that's what people come for. For the food, paired with the games and the drinks, it's guaranteed to be fun. Just to be transparent in the way we handle our food and how we prepare our food, we decided to have this beautiful open kitchen to give any client who's coming in an opportunity to see their food being prepared for them, to know that we're following certain hygiene standards that are required, and just to give someone clarity of mind. We have beautiful aromas of steaks, of lamb chops, of pizzas, of cheese melting. You can see it, you can feel it, you can breathe it, and it just makes you hungrier and you enjoy the food much more.